Welcome back one and all to part 2 of the 12th Fleet Skirmish video, in which we kill even more Cardassians. Rumour is there's some Davidians, we haven't seen any yet. So it turns into a standard slugfest, and at this point you're thinking, well, where are the Davidians? We all know they're here. I mean, Cryptic have been trailing these guys for weeks now as being the big bad of Season 2. They announced it pretty much the day that Season 1 aired its last episode, so I remember, was it that day, 2 days after? Nah. Anyway, you know what, let's just skip all of this. It's standard British combat and you don't need to watch me failing repeatedly. So once all the Cardassians are dead, you can use the console located just southeast of the warp core to drop the force field at the southern end of the room. There are 2 more packs of Cardassian trash here, and no, that's not like trailer trash, it's standard MMO trash. And at this point I'm going to go off on a bit of a rant. Trash, in my view, should do 3 things. 1, it should teach you about the game. It should teach you game mechanics by showing you those mechanics. So, for example, we have higher ranking Cardassians using photon grenades, Klingon swordmasters use melee combat, etc, etc, etc. You can probably think of dozens of other examples. Most have it. Interrogators and their medical abilities come to mind. Dear God, that one was a pain to kill. 2, it should be interesting. Now, in this case, you've got the Cardassians hiding round a corner, apparently waiting to ambush you, but because you've got the sensor map in the top right hand corner, they fail horribly. I saw them miles away. My first response was, oh right, they're trying to ambush us. Oh dear. Well, it was worth it for the effort, I suppose. Full marks there. So perhaps instead of hiding around the corner, maybe just have them beam in or pop hatches. Something that you get jumped, you actually get surprised. And thirdly, trash should be able to kill you. Yeah, I know, it's a revolutionary concept. The idea that a trash pack should be able to wipe you if you play like a scrub. And in this video, I was playing like a scrub, make no mistake about that. Because, hell, for half the fight in the engineering department, in fact, all of the fight in the engineering department, and the preceding conscript, one of my tactical officers had no shield equipped, had no armour equipped, had no weapons equipped, didn't even have a tribble. She was beating on Cardassians with the proverbial rose between her teeth, and I still got through the game. I'm sorry, even on normal, inverted commas, difficulty, that shouldn't have happened. Anyway, we've just had our first glimpse of the Davidians as we pile into the second trash pack. Now, despite there only being 3 of them, one of them is a ghoul, but you wouldn't know it. And again, we come back to this, at no point in this fight is my team even remotely threatened. I mean, what's going on here? That's a ghoul, that's a Cardassian captain. It's the only one we encounter, so I presume he's the ghoul of the ship. He's the ship's captain. He ought to be a threat. He ought really to be a mini-boss. He certainly shouldn't be something that you barely trip over. This almost feels like padding. And while we're on that topic, another thing that gets my goat, stuff like photon grenades, plasma grenades, the CRM-200, attacks with long lead times, long charge-ups and very obvious charge-ups really need to be more lethal. The CRM-200, it's got a charge of what, 5 seconds? You've got 5 seconds to spot it, hear it, and either interrupt the user or break line of sight. That should really be considerably more dangerous. As a broad rule, if you can't get out of the way of an attack, it shouldn't be too lethal. If you can, and the more generous a time it is to avoid the attack, the nastier it should be, to the extent that, like the Bring Captain's attacks in the previous series rather, you had a bit of warning. But if you didn't avoid that attack, you were dead meat. Anyway, red alert wears off and one of your bridge officers kindly says, oh wait, no, either we all had a mass hallucination or there's something really weird going on here. And this is where we start to get hints of plot once again. because we have a dead Cardassian, and unusually we didn't kill him. So we have a Cardassian who's died for no apparent reason. Makes a change, usually it's phaser burns where I'm involved. So let's toddle along. Corridor, nothing on the sensors, but yeah, at this point an ambush would have been interesting, or just hints of hallucinations, like that one. Yeah, they're doing a reasonable job of playing up the whole creepy effect of the Davidians here. And if this is a Cardassian sickbay, I don't ever want to get sick, ye gods. Now where's there's the medical kit. So just scan this dead Cardassian first. That was actually accidental, but let's check the med kit. Okay, medical tools. Oh right, so we have to go and do some reading first. Why we can't just grab the entire med kit and then do the reading, I do not know. You'd think that would be the sensible thing to do. But let's toddle around. And the Cardassians all do various causes of death, but the basic trend is they all suffered something minor, they were all treated, and then they died for no apparent reason. So we'll just skip forward. The whole point of this, of course, is to give you a hint as to which tools you will need later, because you'll notice that on each of these text points there is a description of the tool, helpfully highlighted in green, and what it does. Oh, these are stasis fields. Rather spacious for a morgue. Evidently the Cardassians must go for the deluxe mortuary version. So let's skip ahead a little again, because this bit is just boring. And we're back at the Cardassian medkit. Now you'd think we'd need a laser scalpel to do an autopsy. Turns out you don't. In fact, the tool you actually need, and we'll get there in a second, use the medkit again, you actually need the Neurolite probe. Now, don't ask me how we're going to get brain samples without cutting the guy's skull open, but hey, we've got several phasers handy. I suppose we don't really need precision. Hell, we just need a random chunk of brain. A well-aimed boot heel might do the trick. So we'll just toddle back to the mess hall, talk to our Cardassian corpse, and yeah, one brain sample later, turns out that somebody drained his brain. They ate his brain. His brains. Do we have zombies on board this ship? Maybe. Who knows? Certainly don't have Borg, and that's the main thing. And yep, the internal sensor way. Again, I was expecting an ambush or another hallucination. At this point, didn't get one. The consoles, yeah, they're not clearly marked. I actually miss it here, but it's this center right console. You get a choice of various options. Most of those are fairly obviously not involved. If there was Omega energy on this ship, there wouldn't be a ship left. So we go with triolic waves because that's the odd one out. And jackpot. Guess what? The aliens are all on the bridge. Oh, what a surprise. And it's flooded with lethal radiation. What the hell? Alright, what? Yeah, another bug. Minor detail. And if I'd been a tenth of a second slower, I wouldn't have noticed it. And as we reach the turbo lift to the bridge, we have also reached a convenient moment to finish and move on to part 3. See you shortly.